Hello YouTube friends and lovers of strange guitars. Today I'd like to show you this really cool guitar that I bought recently. It looks like a vintage guitar, but it's a reissue. It's a Silvertone. It's very inexpensive and it looks really cool. It looks a bit like the old ones, although the construction is not the same. I don't think it's hollow. It's a solid body guitar, but it's very lightweight. I like the ugly headstock. It makes it really cool. And it's got a nice sparkle finish. Okay, and so as I was saying, it's a very inexpensive guitar and quite a surprise how much guitar you get for your money. It's a really good guitar. I'm totally amazed. Okay, it's not, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it came well set up. I would say the tuners had some dirty black gunk on them, like some sort of tar-like substance or something. I had to clean them up. The fingerboard was kind of dirty and the fretwork was not necessarily super clean, but apart from that, it plays well and sounds pretty good. So just to show you what it can do, I'm plugged into a Fender Deluxe Reverb amp in the vibrato channel, vibrato and reverb. I've got my volume on 3, treble on 5, bass on 5, reverb on 3, and the tremolo is off. I clipped the treble cap off in that channel, so it does not have that exaggerated treble response that deluxe reverbs can have, which I find a bit too much. So it's still a Fender sound, but it does not have the additional bright cap. Okay, so it's got 2 lipstick tube pickups, a 3-way selector, and volume and tone controls. And so these are concentric controls, and the outside control is the volume, and here's the tone. It's not very practical if you really want to use the tone a lot, but it looks cool, yeah. So anyway, with everything up on full, treble pickup. Okay, 2 pickups together. Neck pickup. Okay, so these are the 3 pickup positions. The pickups sound pretty good. They're nice. Although I'm going to make a change, but that's in a second. Yes. So since I thought this was such a good, nice little guitar, I thought I'd like to really try to get the best out of it. And although it's really not necessary, I wanted to try out some hand-wound pickups in it, because you know me, I really tend to prefer hand-wound pickups. So I decided to try out some Mojo pickups. Mojo pickups made in Great Britain. So I ordered a neck and bridge pickup. They arrived in a nice little package, nicely packed, carefully packed, with a little bag of candy, nice touch, a sticker, screws, tubes to act as springs to set the pickup height, and the pickups themselves, which came in a nice little bag, a cloth bag. And so as you can see, this is the neck pickup, very nice. Looks like it's got plenty of length on the cable to hook it up. Very neat work, very clean. Okay, and so these are going to replace what's already in there. I hope the size is pretty much, yeah, the size seems to be the same. Okay, these have a slightly softer shine, so maybe they are nickel plated, whereas these seem to have chrome on them. So this would be more vintage, I suppose. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to change the pickups, and I'm going to play the guitar again and tell you about the change. And what I'll also do is I'll play a number of licks and try to play the same licks with the same settings on the amp and everything to try to get a fair comparison. Just some more info about the pickups, you know. This is an old bike compass that I have that I use to check polarity, and so if you want to know, the original pickups are, the neck one is, let's see, north up, and the bridge pickup is south up. Okay, so that means they were made in a reverse wound, reverse polarity fashion to make them hum canceling when they're together. So, but you know, these are shielded pickups anyway, so because the lipstick tube around them protects them against interference. But you can hear you can hear what the humbucking effect of having them reverse wound, reverse polarity does. So if I switch, maybe I should turn the amp up all the way just so you can hear the hum. Okay, so if the amp was on 3, I'm going to turn it up to 10. Okay, I'm on the next pickup. Really, there's very little hum. Bridge pickup, there's a little bit more hum. I don't know why. And if I put it in the middle, it goes very quiet. Okay? Right, there's also a little bit of hum on the neck. But these are pretty well shielded pickups, as you can tell. So the humbucking effect is a nice addition, but it's not really necessary. And so anyway, when I ordered my pickups, I didn't even think about it. So I just ordered from the Mojo website, and I ordered a neck pickup and a bridge pickup. And yes, I could have probably requested reverse wound, reverse polarity, but it didn't even cross my mind when I ordered them. And I assumed that the vintage guitars did not have reverse wound, reverse polarity pickups anyway. You know, it's something that appeared quite recently. If you take vintage Stratocasters, for example, today a lot of times the middle pickup is reverse wound, reverse polarity. It gives you hum canceling in the in-between positions, but the vintage ones do not have that. Reverse wound, reverse polarity is not necessarily a plus, although it does give you positions where if you're really suffering from horrible hum because maybe there's lighting around you that generates a lot of interference, then you can switch to a position where you're protected against the hum. But so that's the cool thing about it. But then it also changes the sound of the guitar very slightly. It's very slight, but when the string is magnetized one way in one place and another way in another place, you get a slightly different sound. Some people might say you can't hear it, but so if you are like a vintage extremist, you don't want reverse wound, reverse polarity. If you want to get as close as possible to the vintage sound, but then you're not going to get hum canceling in between positions. So, you know, it doesn't really matter. So I'm not going to have hum canceling, but I don't really care because as you can hear, the pickups are pretty well shielded. I'm probably going to be closer to vintage, and I'm sure, you know, if I wanted to change that, I could probably get what I want from Mojo Pickups. But I'm very excited to be trying those out. So first, maybe a few licks. Maybe, you know, okay, reverb is nice, but for the sake of comparison, I'm going to remove the reverb on the amp. Okay, just to... Right, there's no reverb now. And I'm going to play a few licks. I'm going to start with the bridge pickup. Okay, and maybe something on the lower strings. Okay. Same thing in the middle position. I mixed it up a little, but okay. And neck position. Okay, and now I'm going to install the Mojo pickups, and I'll be right back for the comparison. Okay, so here we are in my workshop, and this should be a pretty straightforward procedure. So I'm going to remove the pick guard to get access to the electronics, and I'm going to remove the pickups. I'll have to loosen the strings first. I wonder what it looks like inside the cavity, the electronics cavity. Nice spots, very nice spots, good quality selector. Wow. What is that? Almost looks like a stereo jack. I don't know why, but maybe that's all they... Oh, if you can see, because it has an extra lug. Okay, maybe that's all they had when they were assembling the guitar. And so the inside, might be shielding paint. I'm not so sure, or it's just normal black paint. I don't know. Well, it does look like shielding paint to me, but well, then you've got this aluminum foil, which provides very basic shielding, but I think if you really wanted to shield things very carefully, the shielding paint would have to be in contact with the aluminum foil, and you'd have to build a sort of cage around the electronics, which is not the case, so I don't know if this achieves much, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is, I assume, yeah, these are the pickup wires, the red and black one for each, and all I need to do is remove the connections and install the pickups in the new pickups in the same places. It's quite simple. So I think now I need to just remove the pickups. And so it looks like what I have to do is undo the screws in the back. But first, I'm going to loosen the strings to make it easier to remove the pickups. Okay, I have now loosened the strings, so I want to unscrew the pickups now. Starting with the neck pickup. The pickup is coming out. Okay, so now the neck pickup is out, and as you can see, they use foam to act as a spring to push the pickup up, and then you've got the screws to set the height. So this is my replacement, and I have foam. I could put foam underneath, but it was sold with these plastic tubes that themselves can act as tubes. So I'll have to try. I'll have to see what the best option is, and then I'll see what I'll do. I have now removed both pickups, and as you can see, both of them have black paint inside the cavities, and so it could be shielding paint, who knows, or it's a base coat for the sparkle finish. Okay, so as you can see, let's say this is the wire from the bridge pickup. It's got a white and a black. The black goes to ground, to the body of the pot, and the white goes to that lug, and I'm going to have to remove both of them. And then I'll have to do the same thing with the red wire from the neck pickup. And it's pretty tight in there, but it's doable. You just have to be careful. As you can see, they already sort of burned the insulation when they were installing the electronics in the factory. It doesn't matter. It's not burned all the way through. So let me get rid of this one first. So I think there's another one that's going to have to come off, and I'll put it back on. That's another ground wire. A lot of times black will mean ground. And let's be super careful not to burn anything. Okay, so now the pickups are out. They're unsoldered. I'd like to check the DC resistance. Should be about the same on these two. I didn't feel when I was playing that they had made a bridge or neck wound pickup specifically for that position. So anyway, this is my meter. Okay, and I don't think I heated up the coils, but when I unsoldered things, but the temperature of the coil will actually affect its resistance, so all readings are approximate anyway. So, plus maybe I shouldn't even be touching this. Well, anyway, just to get a sort of idea. 6.29 for the neck. Hmm. 8.19 for the bridge. So I was mistaken. They are wound differently with a hotter pickup for the bridge. But I still thought the bridge sounded pretty shrill. But okay, so they're interesting. They're wound differently, and they're reverse wound and reverse polarity. So let's now have a look at the ones made by Mojo Pickups. And this is What does it say? I think it's the neck pickup. And I do know these are, well, they're supposed to be calibrated, so here a different reading would not surprise me at all. So neck pickup, shield, hot. 3.52. Wow, this is extremely different. 3.52 for the neck. And let's check out the bridge. So I would assume this will give us a very different sound. Closer to vintage specs, by the way, from what I know. And so this is the bridge, 3.97, so let's round it up to 4. Interesting. I think this guitar is going to sound quite different, but you can never tell. There are so many factors in the making of a pickup that it's not just the DC resistance, okay? And a lot of people who are knowledgeable about pickups have said that in the past, and of course, the DC resistance, you might even say it means almost nothing, because it, depending on the diameter of the wire that you have, it's going to be completely different. Well, anyway, let's install these pickups. Installing the pickup seems a bit more difficult than I thought. You know, maybe there's each tube is very long, so plus, you know, I don't have that much space at the bottom of the cavity. So what I'm going to try to do, because if you put that thing on the screw and it's super long, and then you've got to fit the pickup hole on the screw with this thing sticking out inside a cavity, it's super difficult to do. So since I don't need a lot of spring action, I'm going to simply split the tubes. I'm going to cut them in half. Right, this way, if I have a screw with one of these, plus, you know, once they're on, they're super difficult to get off, but, you know, it's vintage, so yeah, here's how you remove them. Sort of unscrew them. That's the best way to do it. If they are shorter, once I stick the screw through the body, I'm going to have a little bit of screw that's going to extend beyond the tube, and I'm going to be able to screw it in more easily. Okay, I've changed my mind about using these tubes because of the height of the pickups. If you look at the depth, wait a minute, the depth of the cavity and the height of the pickup, it compresses this little tube very hard just in one small spot, and what it seemed to do, it started bending the wood and creating problems, and I even got a little bit of something happened. It was almost as if the finish was going to crack, so I stopped just in time, but you can see something there in the finish. Well, anyway, doesn't really matter, but so I'm going to use foam instead. I think it's going to be a better option for this particular guitar. So as you can see, I've got my foam, and it presses much less hard, but it will push the pickup up, you know, the way it needs to. And if you compare, well, this is actually much harder foam, but so this is what they use, and as you can see, very little thickness is required. So that's why once you start taking those little rubber tubes and making them that small, it's just too much pressure. So yeah, I'm going to revert to using foam. And what I'll do, since this is pretty soft, I will cut several pieces and pile them on top of each other until I get the desired resistance. See? Yeah, and you don't want too much resistance because you don't want it to crush this part here. Well, maybe I should just put a little bit of foam there. I don't know. No, because this foam is pretty soft, I don't think it's going to do any damage to the wires. Plus, you know, these things. Yeah, they do have wires. Oh, okay, so what they did was cut the foam so it wouldn't push against the wires. Okay, I'm gonna have to study this a little bit. See what I want to do with the new pickups. Okay, so as you can see, I've just stuck a double thick piece of foam there, and it's very soft foam, so I don't think it's going to do any damage. But can it push the pickup up enough? Maybe that's still a bit soft. If I put a third layer, yeah, maybe a third layer is in order. Okay, let me see. How wide do I want this? About this much. Okay. And now, yeah, just about right. And so, yeah, this is going to be a lot easier on the wood at the bottom of the cavity. Maybe the tubing is better for down electro type guitars. The configuration might be a little bit different. Okay, so once again, I'm going to have to insert the pickup. Let's see. Yeah, just like that. Okay, wait. All right, now it's time to solder the pickups to the pots, and as you can see, I have put some tubing over the shielding. It's just I don't want the shielding to be able to make contact with any exposed parts. I don't know, I don't want to create any short circuits, so even though it's a ground wire, I put some insulation around it. All right, everything has been soldered back on. As you can see, neck pickup going to this pot, hot and ground, bridge going to hot and ground, and the ground wire from the bridge itself also going to pot ground. So I'm just going to have to push everything back in. All right, I was setting up the guitar when I realized I had a problem. The problem is, if I want to set the pickup height, the screw holes are a little bit too tight, and so the screw rubs against the sides of the hole, and it should normally be free so that the pickup can go up and down. As I unscrew things, it goes up because you've got the foam pushing against it. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna enlarge the screw holes a little bit so I get freer movement. Okay, so I'm going to ream those holes out a little. I think I'll work from, well, I need to be careful, but I almost want to work from underneath so I don't get too much dust into all the in the pickups and everything. Well, doesn't look like I did much. Let's see if the screw moves more freely. Yeah, perfect. So it was just a tiny bit, almost nothing. Alright, so I'll do the same with the other holes. Okay, this one here. Alright, and the last one. I need to be careful. Any pickup wires that don't run against those. Okay. All right. Time to check if the screws, yes, moves freely. And I can even show you, I'll show you from the back what it does. Okay, now the screw can move freely. Yes. Okay, and so it was just a tiny little bit, I don't know, due to some construction issues maybe. All right. So now I have to put the pickups back in, and my foam is not sticking really well, but it doesn't matter as long as it's packed in there. Okay, I'm back with the guitar. It's taken me quite a while. It took longer than I thought it would, but let's hear the results. So these are the Mojo pickups in it. So everything full up. The amp is on the same setting, volume on 3, treble on 5, bass on 5. Treble pickup. Both pickups. Neck pickup. What do you think? My first impression is more twang, more sparkle, more highs, a brighter tone. Something a bit airier. Middle position. More dynamics, which is something I usually associate with hand-wound pickups. You get it reacts to your pick attack a bit more, I think. It's a very airy sound. Treble pickup again. Yeah, very, very nice. I like it very much. Yes. Very, very nice. And oh yeah, so a few more words on the pickups. Before I play the licks, I'm going to try to play the same licks as with the original pickups that were in the guitar, and I'll try to put them back to back by video editing so you can compare a little better. And of course, you know, to really get a feel for a guitar, you need to play it for quite a while. You need to play it live, you need to play it along other instruments until you can figure out, you know, how much of a benefit your modifications really are. It's not always super obvious. Plus, you know, the difference between hand wound and machine wound pickups can be quite subtle, but it is there, and sometimes it's when you go back to what you had, you realize that something is really missing. Something subtle is now missing. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, the original pickups were quite good, as I said, but these have a little something extra. Now, you know, it's really up to you to decide, do you need that little extra? Are you ready to pay for it? Personally, I think it's worth it, but some people might think it's a minimal difference. Okay, oh yeah, so a few more things about these pickups. So as I said, the originals were reverse wound, reverse polarity. These aren't because I didn't request it. So these are north, both of them are north polarity up. Okay, and I already gave you the DC resistance readings when we were in the workshop. And what else did I want to tell you about this guitar? Oh yeah, just you know, if you're wondering where was it made, it says there's a sticker on the back saying made in Indonesia. Okay, so that's where it came from. What else? Oh yeah, and so the ugly headstock, which is something I actually really like. That was one of the selling points, you know, because it makes this guitar look quite unusual. I really like it. What else I want to tell you? Oh yeah, and one more thing, you know, the goodies that they gave along with the pickup. So as I had shown you, there was a sticker, but I also got a free Mojo Pickups. I didn't notice it was in the package. So I also got a very cool Mojo Pickups pick, which is quite thin though. I prefer hard picks, very, very, very hard, about as hard as they can possibly be. Okay, so the licks now. I'm going to try to do something similar. It may not be exactly the same, but I hope it will help you to make a comparison. Neck pickup. Both pickups. Treble pickup. All right, so that's it. Hope you like this video. I think there's one more thing I really want to do now that this guitar has become custom. I'd like to customize it a little more, and since I really like these pickups and they're going to stay in the guitar, I want to add a Mojo Pickups sticker after all, you know. It's gonna customize the guitar, so I'm gonna degrease the surface before I stick my sticker on it. Okay, using some alcohol. Alright, let's degrease it. And I also want to put a sticker somewhere in the front, so I'm also gonna degrease the front. Okay, well, you know, I might as well clean the whole guitar since it was in the workshop and it's been handled all over and exposed to dust and everything. Okay, just a quick cleaning, and this stuff dries very quickly, but it does not leave any, it removes all the grease, which might, you know, prevent my stickers from sticking. And after all, you want a sticker to stick. Okay, how do I get this off? That's the tough part there. Wow, very cool with the sparkle finish. I really like this. I'm going to rub it a little so it really sticks nicely. Hope it's kind of straight. Yeah, alright. So we've got Mojo Pickups sticker in the back. I've got this nice pin-up girl for the front. There we go. All right, pin-up girl. Nice, nice. Now this is a nice customized guitar. Ugly headstock, pin-up girl, great sounding pickups, Mojo Pickups, and a Silvertone. I think it's the 1449 model. I'll have to check. Alright, well, I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you again soon. And until then, bye-bye. So first, maybe a few licks. Maybe, you know, okay, reverb is nice, but for the sake of comparison, I'm going to remove the reverb on the amp. Okay, just to... Right, there's no reverb now. And I'm going to play a few licks. I'm going to start with the bridge pickup. Okay, and maybe something on the lower strings. Okay, treble pickup. Same thing in the middle position. I mixed it up a little, but okay. And both pickups.